everyone, welcome back to Beach Angel Tarot. I'm going to do a what's your story reading. I was guided to do that. I came back to do some readings and I got guided to do this one for YouTube for whatever the reason. So there may be something you need if you're watching it for your story of your life. Now I have one for love, but this is just general, in general, your story for you. So we're gonna see what comes up for everyone with this reading, or why I'm being guided to do it. So let's just see. Who are you in your love story? What energy surrounds you in your story is the first one, but we're going to tap in just for some opening energies, working with Archangel Michael to guide and protect our time and space. I'll put a link to this reading below. If you'd like to purchase it, you can be taken to my Etsy shop. And focusing on everyone, your story. What message wants to come up for the opening energy? And we have expression, assertive, self-control, and direction. So throat chakra. So slow or sluggish throat chakra, slow communication. It's like dry. It's like a desert. It's kind of funny. I don't know why, but it just seems weird, a turtle in a desert, but I guess so. The turtles, don't they belong in water? I don't know if all of them go in the water. Seems a weird visual there. But they're talking about the throat chakra, willpower. Oh, undercurrent is also the throat chakra. And it says vocalization, individuality, inner voice, assertiveness. So the will for self-expression. And that's weird too, because last night's witches read was all about oration and communication and information. And so it's definitely going along with that, with the throat chakra would be indicating of expression and talking, words, exchange. And when I say that, I even pick up this, like I did last night, this feeling of like telepathy, speaking without speaking, symbols, shorthand. I even had the feeling of Morse code come through, but I couldn't think of the word. I was like a lot of this energy last night where I couldn't think of the word. So if you watch the witches read, the general one, there's one for love and there's a one for general energies. It came through a lot about communication and how you communicate and how you spread your message, and actually being a vessel for communication around you, silently. And it's following suit here. So this may be why I was guided to do this reading. So there's maybe a continuation on again, because even in that feeling of that reading last night, it was like they were showing me like everything's connected. So let's see. Who are you in your story? What energy surrounds you in your story at this time, besides being expressive? And again, it can be the things you're saying, the things you're not saying. Sometimes people are really good at, like, oftentimes I get really sensitive to the gaps between words, sensitive to things that aren't being said, noticing what's being left out, like if somebody's talking and they're not, and it's something they leave out, or there's like an error of omission, or lie of omission. You can easily detect that kind of thing too in conversation and communication. So being really keen on things said and unsaid, telepathy, spoken word, unspoken words, that kind of thing, thought transmission, but literally using your voice too. But there's a lot of that other coming up. So let's just see. We're going to go right into the reading, because I feel like that just tied into last night's reading. Who you are in your story, what energy surrounds you in your story at this time. And I think I'm going to pull it's solitude. It's like the hermit energy, spending time alone. I'm going to pull a goddess card too, just to see. So, I don't feel like it's talking about like holding yourself up somewhere, but containing your energy, keeping your energy within yourself, not reaching outside of yourself for validation or perhaps needless chatter, right? That kind of thing. Meaningless conversation. You don't feel the need for like meaningless conversation. You're holding your energy for your own self, like a sovereignty type of energy. For some, you may have pulled back from groups of people or friends, that kind of thing, literally. But I feel like this is just talking energetically. it's showing a tent, so this can just be a temporary situation, but you may be learning to control your energy and be really, um, like, what is the word? Aware of when you're reaching outside of yourself, when you're looking towards the 3D to like validate you or to make sense of your own energy, where you make sense of your own energy within yourself, not outside of yourself. So you could be on that part of the journey with that understanding right now. So let's see who else you are. Who's your what is your energy? Who are you right now in your story? And we have, honestly, quiet time. And that's going right along with this. And it's going right along with that feeling of silent communication. Being more, putting more emphasis on meaningful communication. Not needing needless chatter. Not needing surface level exchanges or friendships or casualness. There's a sense of like, I'd rather be quiet and have 10 minutes of conversation than 2 hours of a meaningless conversation or something. There's something about that kind of energy and quietness. So taking quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So that, and it's not like I don't feel like you're not like, it's not like you're not going through your day and you're not exchanging or talking to people, but your soul self, your energetic self, your spiritual self is really aware of your energy and communication and a need for quiet time, a need for solitude, a need for, I just keep coming back to not needing to engage in meaningless conversation. It's got to hold meaning, or it has to be beneficial to want to just sit and have idle chatter or texting or something like that. So that's who you are right now, and it's all going along very, very good. So with the throat chakra, that would be more like, we could say self-control, asserting self-control with your expression. And both of these say assertiveness, right? But you can assert yourself with self-control with your expression by holding back vocal communication and expressing yourself through non-communication, meaning just what I had said, not needing. Sometimes there can be more understanding. I don't feel like I can get the depth of the sense I'm feeling. There can be more of an understanding in not speaking. There's more can be gleaned and come to the surface by not doing a lot of talking. And again, it's pulling back inward into your spiritual soul self than seeking outside of yourself. It's like that inner voice is what it says. Inner voice, individuality. So it's definitely going right along to, all of these are pointing to the same thing. Solitude, quiet time, holding that back for self. So let's go to the next one. What or who is blocking you from moving to the next chapter in your story? What or who is blocking you from moving to the next chapter in your story? And it's funny. It was intuition, but it was in reverse. It was like that. So blocked intuition, not following your intuition, not listening to your inner voice, not having enough time to go inward and to be quiet, right? Allowing people to pull you outside of yourself to engage, and filling up your time with idle chatter and that kind of thing would be what I was talking about. The stuff you don't want to be doing, the stuff you're realizing that you're pulling your energy back within yourself. So it would be to not follow your intuition. We see the fox down here, so that talks about strategy, opportunity, instinct is the word. Blocked instinct and blocked intuition is what can hinder you from moving to your next chapter. But by going by what we talked about here and doing this, what we just spoke about with your communication and your inner energy, that's going to help you hear your communication or your intuition. The previous chapter of your story, what led up to now? The previous chapter of your story. Sunshine Girl. So it's kind of like, not to say that there's no negativity, but what led up to now doesn't seem necessarily negative. It seems like you've spent time, recharging, um, remaining positive, connecting to more positivity, focusing on self. We see only one person here. Yellow is the solar chakra, so becoming stronger within self, and that's going back with that self-control and pulling back with your willpower and that kind of energy with the magician energy. Um, Focusing on your energy, and I feel like a bit of manifestation power in that, because the flowers are leaning into her, and the flowers are inviting energy, and so they're coming towards her. So becoming more magnetic, becoming stronger in your solar chakra, and becoming more positive, and just basking in good energy for yourself, and it's really helping pull things towards you energetically. Where you are in your story, the present chapter. Is growth. So that's good. I feel like this is just a spiritual path, like energy, more than the mundane 3D everyday life, but you're having spiritual growth. And it can be rapid spiritual growth because of the sun. It's like you're growing like one of those flowers, from the sun's energies, right? How it allows what is that process of, I'm really being taken into this weird process of photosynthesis or what have you with the sun and what it does and stuff with plants and all that. It's kind of strange. You're taking me into all that, but so you're kind of being given that opportunity and environment, energetic environment for growth. So that's where you are right now. And it's a silent process. When flowers are growing and blooming, it's not something that you can take a hold of, right? You can't just go out in the world and grab a flower and force it to bloom, right? It's a silent process, and it has its own silent system to it. And, it takes the sun, it takes that photosynthesis or whatever energy I'm picking up and making it grow, and it slowly kind of unfolds. So you're in this energy where you're silently unfolding on your path. Next chapter in your story, if you can get past number 2, which was the blocked intuitions. At times, if you're engaging in noise and chatter of the world and you're not hearing your intuition, right? Next chapter in your story, if you can move past number 2. So I'm going to probably label this your spiritual story, and it's self-reliance. And I like that. Undercurrent there, they want me to look, and it's mother. So Empress energy, self-reliance, which is not a bad thing. So you're becoming stronger. That solar chakra is becoming stronger. That willpower, sense of self, sovereignty, which again isn't, we all need other people and we all need connection, but you have to be strong in yourself. You have to know who you are, right, before you can engage with others. And so I definitely feel that. And we see this mother energy, and it's talking about nature and nurturing. And for some, mothering, becoming a mother, it could be that as well. Focusing on your children, focusing on your family, but also a good healthy sense of self is where you're going to be moving. So it's to move more into that direction. And then the end of the story, this book only, so many more books to write. So the end of the story for this time period, which I'm not real sure how long this will be, end of the story, and I might pull another card too, but let's see, end of the story for this time. Oh wow, I got a lot of jumbled. And it is kindred. I like that. So the end of the story, and you see the bird in the cage, and the cage door is open, and the bird represents expression and throat chakra. So I feel like it's kind of ending a bit where we were beginning. Any blocked throat chakras, like if you have a blocked throat chakra, you feel like there's an issue with that. A lot of times you hear like singing, humming, all that kind of thing can help open the throat chakra. But for some reason, I'm going to follow my intuition here, I feel like quiet is actually going to be what unblocks your throat chakra and connects you more to your intuition right now. So I'm going to be like counterintuitive to what you usually hear. And maybe there is something somewhere that says you can open the throat chakra through silence. Because I feel like there's this strength and unspoken communication building within you, meaning you may be connecting more to your channeling, because that came up in yesterday's reading. I think even in the love reading, it was like fragments of bits and pieces, fragments. I was like seeing ones and zeros, like the binary codes or whatever, and that's information, bits of information like from the Akashic records. So that's gonna help you be able to assimilate silent information, silent messages, silent communication from spirit. And you're in this phase. If you feel like you're in this phase of wanting more of this quiet time, that's why, because you're being energized in this energy, you're growing in this energy and the ability to be able to do that, that type of spiritual work. Be able to connect more to these types of messages and information that's coming to you, and to then be able to express them to other people in whatever way that is. And for some of you, it may actually be silently. It may actually be like telepathy or something like that. Yeah, so anyway, the end of the story right now is kindred. So you see the bird up here and the cage is open. So you may connect with other people. You may connect with soul tribe. Throat chakra, I feel, is going to be unblocked. There's going to be a freedom. There's a sense of freedom here, because if this cage was there and the door was shut, there's no freedom. So there's going to be a freedom, a freed up throat chakra through this process. Even though it seems silent and it seems counterintuitive to expression, it's actually building stronger communication. It's actually building the ability to hear and listen. Because if you're just endlessly chattering and you're talking with somebody and you're thinking about what you're going to say next, and there's no silence or pause, you're not really connecting. You're not really hearing. You're not really absorbing what's being said and understanding it and processing it. So there needs to be that time. So there's like this pause, but then it opens the door. It frees up the throat chakra and it liberates. So maybe you can connect with others more easily, or feeling more understood even. So there's been some quiet time, and then that actually opens and releases this door. So again, this could be specific person, this could be groups of people, kindred spirits, or like soul family, etc. So, and this thing says, this little sign on here says follow your heart. And so following your heart is intuition. So it's listening to your heart, right? You're allowing your heart. That's what intuition is, the communication of your heart. And it's growth. So I'm going to pull another one here. For some reason, I just want to end. So we're going to say the end of this chapter. We're going to add this to the end, or maybe there's going to be a different message. I don't know what's coming here, but I'm liking it to this placement, but we'll see. The end of the two fails, I'm going to take them. And we have white tarot sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. And that's just it. I feel like this is an energy that you're becoming more sensitive to. Just like I was talking about, when you're in tune, really hearing what's not being said, louder than what's actually being said, reading between the lines, picking up gaps, sensing out what's being left out by like an arrow of omission, kind of like a lot of owl type energy, right? And then we have neotoma, I can't say it. And it's create an altar or visit a power place to connect to the divine, sacred space. So we have a sensitive sacred space with the kindred in the end of the chapter. So again, that can just be your inner world, meditation, quiet time, away from harsh sounds and noises and chatter and communication and loud places and things. And again, this is not like an interference with your daily life and talking to other people, but it's just an inner awareness of connecting more to your higher self and your messages and channeling and how you connect and receive messages and understand what's being conveyed through communication with others. It's just becoming more sensitive. This card reminds me of that song. What is that song? 1,000 Years? It's just from the visual. I can see the video where all the candles are all around. I'll find the video and I'm not going to link it below because I don't know if I'm allowed to do that on YouTube, but I'll put the name of the song and maybe some of the lyrics in the description box below. It could hold a message as well. So let's do a couple rainbow rains to end this reading and what your story is, some messages for moving forward. And we have unconditional love. I like that dog energy. And dogs silently convey their love. Look at how many ways they convey their love. And there's summer, which we're through summer, but it talks about that sun energy with the sunshine girl. And making out, which doesn't necessarily mean sexual energy. This can be making out in a situation. And we have spring, so we're having seasons come up. And these 2 seasons we're through, but again, we're seeing flowers and the openings of them, right? This is like a new process that's being energized within you and allowing you to connect to that silent messages of the heart. And we have seeing truth, which is interesting. It's blue, like the throat chakra. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed this reading, and if you like your own private one, you can click the link below and be taken to my Etsy shop. But I do feel it's kind of connected to the witches read last night, and maybe the one before, even the love one, because at the end of it, it talked about the Akashic records, receiving bits and pieces of information and data, and yesterday's was kind of like that as well. So yeah, angel blessings to everyone. Oceans of love.